Tottenham, I've heard Tottenham fans go on about the past couple of weeks. I mean, all these Spurs fans on this panel right here, I got respect for you because you keep it real. You've said it, Alan. You said it since before any Spurs fan. You were the first one to say Conte because you saw what was going to happen, and everyone saw it. Three at the back, you play three at the back every game, and you concede goals. Southampton have not scored more than 2 goals in the game all season. They played Tottenham Hotspur and they scored 3. I mean, it shows that Conte is a good defensive manager. I mean, it's a complete myth. And also, I just want to mention Spurs fans saying they want Pochettino back. It's playing right into Levy's hands. Levy says, oh, hang on, they're against me. They want me out. But if I bring back Poch, then ticket sales next season are going to be through the roof. If we bring this guy back, everyone's going to forget about me. Everyone's going to forget about this. And they're going to go on and thinking, oh, we got Poch back. Everything's fine. When in reality, bringing back Poch is just a cover for Levy. As he covered for Levy the past 5 years.
Well, the problem is, if you don't mind me saying, is that what needs to happen at Spurs is Tottenham need to be sold. We need an American, we need a Chinese, we need somebody from the UAE. Bloody hell, buy this club. Now, if we don't get someone to buy this club and Levy's still in charge, then you need someone who can work with him, in my opinion. I don't want Levy to be there. I hear people who are not really feeling Poch back, but let's be real. Poch has produced the best results under that bloody regime, because that's what I'm calling it. It's a regime under that bloody Levy. So what we need is to be sold, and if Levy refuses to sell, who's going to come in and do a better job?
Yeah, but Deji, that's a pipe dream, right? Like when we're saying Levy needs to sell, our football club is worth £4.5 billion to our owners, right? To our owners. Why, Alan? We had this chat on your show the other night, right?
Yeah.
This is the point. If I've built my house, like I said to Alan, my house is worth £1 million. By the way, it's not. This is just hypothetical. If my house,
I bet no funding boy. I bet
it's not right. If my house is worth £1 million, Deji, right? And then I turn around and I do £1 million worth of improvements, and I double the price of the property, right? People could knock on my door and go, "I'll give you £2 million for this house." I turn around and go, "Yeah, it's not for sale." Yeah, but I'm offering you £2 million, what it's worth. Yeah, but it's not for sale. We've got no need to sell. And that's how I see Tottenham. They've spent 22 years, whether we, Deji, look, I agree with you. I want them to sell. But whether we like this or not, they have spent 22 years building their profile, building the football club to be a sports empire. This is not a football club anymore. We are a multi-purpose empire. Boxing, Formula One, concerts, golf, right? All of these things, they've built that. So why? I keep saying this to people and no one can give me an answer. Why are they going to build this empire that they've built on purpose to turn around and go, actually, we're going to sell because the Spurs fans aren't happy? They don't care. They've never cared.
the only
We got to do MK Dons.
Well,
We got to drop them Dons or something. I don't care.
The only way you'll force them is by you stopping giving them your money. And I'm
never going to happen, Terry.
Do you know what's crazy? A lot of the United fans that do the protest about the Glazers, they're like, "Oh, we won, we protest," and they're selling. No, they've run out of money. There's no cash left at the club because of the 5 fouled projects since Fergie, or the 4 fouled projects since Fergie. The money's dried up. As soon as that happened, the share price got to its lowest point. Equally, they know that selling now, like the clubs that are really high value, they can get around $5.5 billion for it when they're paid nothing for it. The longer they hold on to it now there's no money left in the club because they've basically burnt the candle at both ends. It's done. Money running out is why the Glazers are selling. You guys have got a different situation where you don't have the same debt that we have. As an example, your revenues are growing. You've become this multi-purpose site, as you've mentioned already, which is essentially you're like the new O2 of London. You're like, and that's not even a dig. It's what your stadium has become. The only way you guys get rid of them is for you all to boycott and pull your money away. But what they know, the same as the Glazers know, same as FSG know, is that most football fans, whether you want to call it like genuine love or blind love, whatever you want to call it, their passion for their club is so much that they will not be able to pull their money away. Their connection to their club is so deep, they won't be able to pull their money away. And they know it. Even with myself, when I pulled my money, it still hurts me now. I want to buy the kits. I want to dress my kids up in the stuff. I want to spend money, even if I'm not going to games because of my job. I still want to give the club money and everything I can, like just my little couple of £100 a year. it means something. There's a difference between being a fan and being a supporter. Supporters support. You support by giving. But the problem is with you guys, you're supporting something where their main aim isn't to win the trophies. Their main aim is to become richer out of you.
Terry,
so you're stuck between a rock and a hard place. You really are.
Terry, though the season ticket renewals will be out soon, right? You and I both know, right? Everyone on here knows, all the Spurs panel, we all know the season tickets will be sold like that, right?
Yeah.
And we all know that even if people stopped going, the amount of tourists that will come to Tottenham Hotspur to watch Tottenham Hotspur each week, the Korean market with Heung-min Son, right? The American market because of the NFL, right? All of these different markets, the stadium's going to be sold out. And this is why loads of people have had a go at me in the community and have kind of ostracized me in some way from the community, guys, because, and you know this, Alex, right? Because I say I'm Levy and ENIC out, but I don't protest. And I keep saying this: when you've got owners that want £4.5 billion for their company, it's not a football club, for their company, they're not going to see 1,000 of us down the high road and go, "Oh my God, what? They don't like us. All right, we'll sell in the morning." And then even if they did, you've got to have someone out there that's going to go, "Yeah, there you go, 5 billion."
Yeah.
Right, we're not talking like, I'm going to say this in all due respect. When Newcastle was sold, they were selling a club worth 300 million, right? And there's loads of people in this world now, as crazy as this sounds, that have got 300 million. There are not loads of people that are knocking about with 5 billion that want to come and invest without actually the club being up for sale.
Liverpool couldn't find buyers. That is why the Qataris showed an interest, but then as soon as Man United came along, they're like, "No, we're going to run that." Man United is a different animal. We all know the brand of Man United. I use the example this way. A lot of people, and by the way, I love them. They're brilliant at what they do. A lot of Arsenal fans hate AFTV. Get them out of our club. A lot of Arsenal fans say it, and I'm like, but you're never going to get Robbie to stop making content while people are willing to watch it. The only way to get rid of it is by people not watching it, and it will naturally fall away. But enough people love it. Robbie didn't go, "Oh, do you know what? There's a lot of gooners that don't like me, so I'm going to stop making Arsenal fan TV content," because there's more gooners that like them. And this is the issue with Spurs trying to get rid of Levy with a 1,000-person protest. They outnumber you probably globally, outnumber you 1,000 to 1, 10,000 to 1. People that are willing to do what's required to get rid of you. And by the way, I'm not advocating boycotting AFTV. I'm just making the example. You can't make someone stop running their business by not liking them or moaning about them or campaigning against them. The only way you stop them is by getting the majority of people that like what they do to walk away. And that's very difficult to do. But I've always looked at it this way. Me boycotting Man United financially was me showing them love. I look at that as love because I don't care about the short-termism. I care about the long-term direction of my football club. Now, my actions haven't led to the Glazers selling either because not enough of us pulled our money away. It's kind of been a hybrid of, they've run out of money. And I do feel a bit sorry for Tottenham fans in this respect because I care about football fans because all our clubs were built by working class people. And I don't like seeing these I don't mind billionaires using the clubs to make more billions for themselves as long as they give us what we want first, which is the best football team possible for us to enjoy. Because people say football's entertainment. I disagree. I think football is entertaining, but football isn't entertainment. Football is escapism. For me, it's an escapism from life. It's an escapism from life. And it's one time during the week where the working class communities can come together and go, right, we're going to go watch the football. We're hopefully going to enjoy it. We're going to have a good time because we know the club is trying to be the best it can be. When you know that they're cutting corners and they're cutting corners and cheating you as a fan to make more money but not create the best football team, whilst charging the most amount of money in the country for tickets, whilst hosting all these things they're doing, whilst getting these go-karting tracks, it must be so frustrating. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
Terry, with Spurs, the thing that annoys me most is when you look at Spurs, when they advertise the stadium, they say about the NFL first, they say about concerts and who they can get there and everything. And at the end, then it says about, also Tottenham Hotspur matches here. They see us as a football club last. And I'm not even lying. You can go and check it yourself. They see us as a football club last. And that is absolutely disgusting. The worst thing we did was that stadium, because I would rather have had a Premier League or a Champions League with more investment, get Poch over the line, if you could have had it that way, than that new stadium, because it's what's turned us into a cash cow where they make the monies on us. It makes it obviously like they're happy when Spurs went back to the stadium. Fans went back to the stadium after the pandemic. It was all about, oh, we've achieved 13 seasons out of 14 in Europe because it's better for their bottom line. That everything that helps them is what's good at. We are, and this is no dig, back under, because Spurs fans used to mock Arsenal fans when they used to go, oh, top four on the last thing, when they were just getting top four. And now now Spurs fans are doing the same thing, going, oh, we should get top four. I don't care about top four. It is not a trophy. I would rather have seen FA Cup, you beat Sheffield United, you get to Blackburn in a quarterfinal, you're through to the semi-final, 2 games away, anything can happen. Same with the League Cup. Let Mourinho take that final. You may get a League Cup against Pep Guardiola, another trophy and stuff like that, to put that 15 years to, or 13 years to when it was to bed. But no, all the time, it's what can be done off the pitch first with Spurs and not on the pitch. Pochettino said, okay, great, you give me a nice new house, but I've got no furniture for it. Basically saying that, and this is the thing, people say, well, Poch didn't win anything. Poch went with a team that had, finished 8th or 10th the season before, and he went young. We started young, and he built a team that was close to challenging. Rather than get 2 or 3 in every season, we went 18 months without, and then he said, I need new people, and then they got these high-value players, and it didn't work, and then they sacked Poch. We are an absolute mismatch. Like, we're so badly run from top to bottom in this, and it's just getting worse and worse, and it's just going to continue to happen unless there is a change right away through. But you can't it takes ages to get owners out. Managers, you can rotate all the time, but when you have defenders or players there that have been there for 9 years who are still playing for this club, who are quite clearly not good enough, we're just and I thought this team would have changed from the start of this season, but it's not happened. I thought my expectation for this season was 3rd, because we're proven the last season, my expectations, and a trophy because we needed to win a trophy. It hasn't happened. That's why I'm content out, because we've underperformed. We've underperformed massively. So yeah, across the board, we're an absolute horrendous team, but a horrendous football club at the moment. It's not even funny.
Totally get where you're coming from. I want to do some of these super chats.